Law 23. Work on the hearts and minds of others. And this is a very important law. This reminds me of something straight from How to Win Friends and Influence People, but the basis behind this law is like you need to make people want to do what you're trying to get them to do. Like it's so difficult to try to win someone over to your side by logic through argument. Like you need to appeal to their emotion. You need to show them how it benefits them. You need to ensure that in some way they are either going to feel better about themselves or they are in some way going to benefit themselves by helping you out. And when you can start doing stuff like this, like you can basically do whatever you want, because let's face it, like the company can never fire the best salesman. If you're constantly bringing in sales, if you're constantly bringing in, just sale upon sale, new customer upon new customer upon new customer, like it's going to be pretty hard for you to get fired. And it's the same thing when it comes to life. Like if you can convince people to do something, if you can convince them to buy a product, if you can convince them to help you out, like you will forever be able to just rule this world. Obviously it's a figure of speech, but like at the same time, like if you can get people behind you, if you can build a base behind you, like that is one of the most powerful skills that you can ever have. Like I want you to understand that only 3% of the population was for the American Revolution. 3%. It does not take a lot of people to make a huge difference in this world, to make a huge change in this world. And when we can start to win people over through emotions and really show them like why what you're doing is righteous, why what you're doing is good, like that is going to be so much easier for you to do than win someone over logically. Because what I want you to understand is like most people are set in their ways. I'm trying to get better at this. I'm still not great at it, but like most people are not willing to accept a new ideology, a new belief, a new worldview, because it would come in conflict with their preconceived notion of the world, and it would damage their ego, it would damage their reputation, it would damage their intelligence, and it's very, very, very unlikely for you to ever convince somebody by just using statistics, by using facts, by using logic. But like you really have to make people want to help you. You really have to make people want to get on your side. And it's not something that's going to be easy to do. It's not something that's going to be, maybe it doesn't even make sense to you right now. Maybe you're like struggling with basic communication skills, but like if you could just keep this rule in mind, if you just keep this law in mind, like it's going to benefit you so much. Because we live in a day and age where, think about it, like if you can get a consistent few thousand people following you, like for the rest of your life you will be able to exist in an algorithm, and you'll be able to push your ideas and push your content and sell your products. And like it's never been easier to live solely online. Like one of my goals right now is to build up a stable enough following where I could start traveling the world training jiu-jitsu, where I could just have enough income to just live, and then I could start worrying about bigger projects. But for right now, I need to build up that base. For right now, I need to build up that audience, so then I could start, maybe dropping out of law school, maybe not pursuing a law career. Like I want to do certain things with my life. I want to do certain things with my time, and it all starts with being able to convince people that I have something to say. Being able to convince people that you can be entertained while learning from me. Like you don't have to read these books, because I'm bringing you the key ideas and the key things. And it's really an interesting thing to play in your head, and it's a new perspective that I want you to understand. Because let's face it, nobody can do it alone. Malcolm X, they didn't do it alone. Gandhi didn't do it alone. Martin Luther King didn't do it alone. Like all of these people had supporters. All of these people had followers, and you need to have people behind you. You need to have the support of the masses, because when you have the support of the masses, then you just transcend your identity. You transcend being an individual. You're a movement. You're no longer an individual. Your ideas represent a movement and something much deeper and something much more intense. So again, not all these laws are something that you need to actively apply. I think this is one that you really should consider, because I'm not saying you should do it in terms of like selling courses or selling products, but like you have to sell yourself to some extent as an individual. If you want to get a job, you're going into the interview and you're explaining to that employer why you're the best employee. It's the same thing with getting a girl. Like if you want to get a girl, you have to explain to her why you're the better option than the 100 other guys in her DMs. Like it's it's just a simple fact of life. We're all salesmen in the game of life, and the more we can understand this game, the more we can master it, and the easier it will be to just guide through this life and not really have any resistance. And again, I love this book for the fact that it's not designed to manipulate people. It's designed to help the people that have been manipulated their entire lives. It is to teach them the rules that they were always being caught in the trap of. Like, the world should be a meritocracy. The world should be based off of you reap what you sow. You get as much as you give. And it's so untrue, and it's so false, and it's frustrating that we have to deal with people who don't have a control of their ego. We have to deal with people who really can't control their emotions and will lash out. And you know what? You're doing a little bit better than them. They're above you. They don't want to see you do well, so they don't give you the opportunity. And it's frustrating that we have to exist, but we have to understand these rules, because if we don't understand these rules, then we're going to constantly get screwed over by them. So go ahead, pick up the book. I will leave a link in the description to this book. Tremendous read. It's very fun. It's very easy, and I think honestly everybody can at least take something away from it. So go ahead, pick it up. Thank you so much for making this far. We'll catch you next one. Peace out, guys.